Okay, quick update. We are 6 weeks and 2 days. So we're 6 weeks and 2 days today. And things are going really good, actually. I feel really great. Hopefully that stays that way. I am out of breath often. So that is kind of challenging because I also suffer from asthma and allergies. So it's spring, the allergies are going crazy, which is inducing some of the asthma. I'm also out of breath because I'm pregnant. So that is all a very interesting combination. But overall, we're doing good. Still haven't really experienced any nausea. I mean, during week 4, like right after I found out, I was noticing like waves of nausea, just like very slight waves when we would be out with our friends, but that's gone away. And I have a theory. I don't know if it's true or, factual or anything, but when we left to Utah to do the embryo transfer, I had packed all my stuff away, including my Unisom, vitamins, things like that. So when we got back to Philadelphia, I really hadn't unpacked yet, and I had kind of stopped taking Unisom at night when we got home. And so I'm kind of wondering if that has something to do with those waves of nausea that I was getting during week 4 that I'm not getting now, because I'm back on my Unisom, and I got back on it probably like the middle of week 4 to week 5, and I haven't experienced like any waves of nausea. Yeah, so I don't know. I know it's all still really early, and I'm hoping that like I don't have a bout of nausea and like morning sickness. That'd be amazing if I didn't. But I do kind of have a theory. I wonder if that has any correlation. But everything's been good. I've been sleeping really good. Nighttime's been great. Not always sleeping through the night, but a lot of times just lying awake half sleep, which literally like I'll take. That's fine than being wide awake. No like really extreme tiredness. I haven't been napping throughout the day, so I feel really, really blessed. Today is Saturday. We do have an ultrasound on Wednesday, our very first ultrasound, and we are so excited. I'm so nervous though. I'm a little bit nervous just because 6 weeks is so early, and literally all kinds of things could be happening. We do hope and pray that it is a healthy baby growing in the right spot, but you just hear so many stories of, people go for their 6-week appointment, 7-week appointment, 8-week appointment, and it's not that. So I am quite nervous, but I am trying really hard to just focus on the facts. The facts are, I have a positive pregnancy test. I have had 2 beta HCGs that are rising at really great levels. I am experiencing some pregnancy symptoms. And a 6-week ultrasound ordered by a doctor is very early, and we are very, very blessed to be able to have an ultrasound scheduled that early. So literally this is like best case scenario for everything. Like, last week was week 5, and I'm like finding myself going into these like minor anxiety bouts about the ultrasound and if everything's okay. Because when you find out and things start going well, like all these betas, you really start dreaming and you start planning. And Melvin and I have been doing that. And so it's hard because I'm so excited. Melvin is so excited. But in the back of your mind, you know that like the possibility is there of something not being right. So anyways, I was having these bouts during week 5 of like, oh, I'm so nervous for the ultrasound, blah, blah, blah. And I was just like, let's focus on the facts. These are the facts. Like literally, if I had went for an ultrasound 5 weeks, they wouldn't have been able to see anything anyway. So the ultrasound I have is the soonest ultrasound that they could be able to see something. It's all working out the way it's supposed to. It's all lining up perfectly for us. So those are the facts. Those are just what I'm trying to focus on. And Wednesday, hopefully, prayerfully, we'll have very, very good news. But that is the update for now. No aversions. Food is fine. Besides the fact that nothing sounds great. Like, I'm not ever in the mood for anything, which is kind of a problem. I'm a person, I love food, and when nothing sounds good, I feel like I'm just kind of like eating dinner, like, because I know I have to eat something, but nothing's really like, ooh, that sounds really great. So I'm struggling a little bit with that, but like I said, other than that, everything is going amazing, and I pray to God it stays that way. I will be back and update you guys when we do the ultrasound, and hopefully we'll have great news. We'll see how that goes. That's it for now. Let's talk about it. We are 8 weeks pregnant today, which is so great. We're so happy and giggly. We had our first scan at 6 weeks, 5 days at this cute little boutique ultrasound center in Jersey. And we have a heartbeat. We have a heartbeat. Beats were at like 137, so which is great because the tech said they were only looking for 100. So we're really excited about that. And I have to be honest, like after I saw the heartbeat, I was like, oh, this is happening. Like, this is real. And Melvin's goes, well, it wasn't real before. And I'm like, I mean, yes, but you know, you never know. You never know. So we have a heartbeat. It's real. We're really having a baby. There's really a baby in here. We're really pregnant. So that was like so reassuring, is to see that heartbeat. Because, you know, like I said before, we were doing all that planning, getting so excited. And then I was fighting those anxiety bouts about like, what if this, what if that? Like, and also at the same time, just trying to enjoy the moment while I'm here. So I've just been telling myself, like, the facts are, these are the facts. You know, we're pregnant, we have a high HCG level, all of this stuff, and now we have a heartbeat. So I'm so excited. Symptom-wise, I've been great. No nausea, no throwing up, no getting sick. Still knocking on every piece of wood I can find. I hope it stays that way. That'd be amazing. Some people say that if you don't get sick by 8 weeks, then maybe you won't get it. I hope that's true, but really, I feel really, really great. My mood is good. I'm like super happy all the time, really stable mood, which I'm so grateful for. My energy levels are pretty good. I have been sleeping in a lot though, which I would love to stop, like at least like taper down a little bit, because I would like to get back into a steady workout regimen, preferably that I do in the mornings and earlier than, you know, what I wake up now. So a steady workout regimen would be amazing, because, you know, it's just good for me, good for baby. I feel really great after I work out, so there's no reason to not. Other symptoms I've been experiencing, the only like really strong symptom that I have is hunger. So I never know what I want, but I am always ready to have something. So definitely trying to keep a forefront on like healthier snacks and healthier meals, because I could see how that amount of hunger could become a problem. Like right now I'm snacking on blueberries and strawberries. So yeah, which is great. Like I don't have any aversions. Funny, at week 6, I had stopped and got a coffee from Dunkin' Donuts, and I brought it home, and I had already eaten my breakfast, and I was sipping on my coffee, sitting on the couch, and then I like just threw up all my coffee. And that was just the weirdest thing to me. Like the weirdest thing. Like I didn't feel sick. I didn't feel nauseous. I went to the bathroom like to go pee, and like I just threw up all my coffee. I had the urge to throw up all my coffee. So that was like really interesting. But that hasn't happened since. So I've also like kind of stayed away from coffee since, because I am not a person who enjoys throwing up. hopefully that's not a thing, but I'll have to try it again here soon and see. At 8 weeks, nobody knows still. It's just me and Melvin that know. And we like it that way. We're a little bit like, not shocked. Like we haven't really been staying away from like friends or family either. It's just nobody knows, which is great. Kind of keep things under wraps. People are obviously asking like his friends and my friends like, oh, like I know you guys are doing IVF. How's it going? XYZ. And we're just like, oh, you know, like we're running into issues here. Or, you know, we're just trying to transfer, trying to keep everything under wraps. I think until next month, like late next month, we'd still like to keep it that way. Yeah, but late next month, I'll be, should be out of the first trimester, you know, at the end of June. So, and we're actually planning a trip for Melvin's mom's birthday to Greece in late June. So I'm kind of thinking like that might be a good time to tell them. That would be a fun surprise to tell them then. So yeah, nobody knows. We're keeping it that way. The bump, don't have one, which is really great. Well, at least I should say I don't have one in the morning, which is really great. A lot of bloating comes obviously at night. And I will say like, since I found out till about really like just a few days ago, I think my bloating has gone down tremendously, like tremendously. Like between week 4 and like 7, I feel like I was so bloated, like all the time, like had to wear, you know, just trying to conceal and hide. And if you were just bloated and you weren't pregnant, like you would still be trying to conceal and hide. But for whatever reason, it seems like an easier job to do than when you're actually pregnant and you're trying to conceal and hide. But it's really all just bloat. So, yeah, I've been battling that, you know, from up to like week 7. But now, today, this morning, I feel good. My stomach feels good. I don't feel that bloated. I don't feel really bloated at all. I don't feel really bloated at all, which is great. And it's also really good because it's the spring, okay? Almost the summer. And hiding a bump in the hot seasons is a little bit difficult. You know, when it's cooler out, it's a little easier. You put on a sweatshirt, you know, nobody thinks twice about it. But when it's hotter out, you can't really put on a big sweatshirt. I mean, I have on a sweatshirt today. It's 55 degrees out and it's raining. That's my one caveat today. But, you know, earlier this week and last week, it was like in the 80s. And, you know, I have to wear, I not have to, but, you know, I'm wearing sundresses and, you know, summer clothes. I'm wearing summer clothes. All in all, we are very excited. We actually have another scan next Wednesday in Utah. And at this 9-week scan, this will be our graduation from the fertility clinic, which is incredible. Absolutely incredible. Instead of going back and forth really quick like I usually do, we're gonna stop, stay the night. My husband has a friend in Utah, and so we're gonna stop, see them, have dinner, stay the night, you know, and then go back the next day, late on Thursday. So that will be really great. But yes, we are praying obviously that this scan looks great, baby looks wonderful, and everything is going really, really well. But all in all, that is the 8-week update. It's not a whole lot, but you know what? We're still feeling really great, and that is what we're happy about. 10 weeks. We are at 10 weeks, and I don't think we could be more excited or happy. I just feel like, I don't know, this time has went by so slow and so fast at the same time. I mean, I guess you don't really find out that you're pregnant until you're 4 weeks in. So it's only been 6 weeks, but it feels like it's been like 3 months. So anyway, I don't know how people wait until 10 weeks to get their first ultrasound. We have been so lucky to have had multiple ultrasounds by this point. So much has happened since I last updated you guys. So we went to Utah last week, at 9 weeks and did our graduation appointment, which went so good. The baby's looking great. The flight out there is always like long, but it's not so bad. My husband saw a friend of his. You know, we stayed the night, kind of made a whole like date day out of it. So that was really nice. So everything was good with that. Came back for this week, and today I had my 10-week appointment with the OB. So it's the first OB appointment, and that also went good. We got an ultrasound like we do at all of them. Baby's looking great. Heart rate is looking great. The only thing is my blood pressure is a little bit elevated. So they did send me home with one of these, a blood pressure monitoring device. So just to keep an eye on it. They can't basically tell like if I'm just nervous when I come to the office or if my blood pressure is sometimes normal, sometimes elevated. And if it's the latter, then it definitely needs to be watched, which is totally fine. And symptoms are fine as ever. I feel good, moving well. I'm not sick. I do think during week 9, my hunger died down a little bit, which is good. Like, I'm not complaining about, because literally from like the time I found out to like week 8.5, I was starving all the time, could not get enough to eat. So I do feel like my hunger's died down a little. Also, bump. So there's not a bump yet per se, but there is a lot of bloating. The bloating is out of control. And I am in the process of trying to figure out what in the world I'm going to do this summer for clothes. So we still haven't told anyone yet, which is making this a little bit more complicated because we're trying to like conceal everything. And we're actually taking my in-laws to Greece in the next couple of weeks, the end of June, for my mother-in-law's birthday. And so they still won't know. We don't plan on telling them before then. So that's kind of become like a topic of conversation for me and my husband, because I'm like, what am I gonna wear? Like, I'm not able to just pull things out of my closet right now and just put them on and say, okay, I look great. I literally have like one dress for dinner that definitely fits well and like totally conspicuous, or inconspicuous. And then I have some day clothes, obviously, but I'm that type of traveler who I like to like change outfits night and day. You know, nighttime, something a little bit nicer for dinner. Placing a lot of orders, I feel like, for clothes for not only the vacation, but also clothes that can take me through the summer. Once people know, it will be a lot easier because I won't have to try so hard to hide everything. But as of right now, no one knows. Also, I will say on that I guess my husband and I are pretty like secretive. I guess we just don't tell people a lot of things. So this pregnancy has not been difficult to keep a secret, like from our family or friends. It has not been challenging at all. That's kind of funny, but I am finding, especially after this appointment in week 10, I'm like in my head, like, okay, I think I'm ready to like kind of tell some people. It's getting exciting. It's feeling very, very real. Even more exciting, and it's feeling even more real with every ultrasound. So I think we're on the road to, like, in the next couple of weeks, starting to spill the beans a little bit. Our next appointment won't be until week 16, and I think I'm actually just getting the baby's heart rate at that appointment. Like, I don't think they're going to do an ultrasound, and the next ultrasound won't be until week 20, which is so crazy to me because that's like so far away. So we left the appointment today, and my husband was like, oh, so we're not going to see the baby for another 10 weeks, which is crazy because, like I said, like, because this is an IVF pregnancy, we've had ultrasounds at 6 weeks, 9 weeks, and we might have had another one in there. I'm not sure. And now 10 weeks, and now we won't get another one until 20 weeks. So my husband said to me in the car, he was like, well, if I get a little anxious, we can always, you know, book a scan at one of the boutique ultrasound places. And I'm like, that sounds like a good idea, because 10 weeks is a long time to wait for another ultrasound. I don't know how everybody does it. I don't know how people wait. If you can wait, you know, 10 weeks for your first ultrasound and then another 10 weeks for your second ultrasound and not bat an eye, more power to you. You're amazing. I don't think I'm that incredible. I think I'd like to see what's going on. So anyways, that is the update for week 10. And I should have another update for you guys before this first trimester is over. 13 weeks. We are 13 weeks and actually 3 days pregnant today. And I'm feeling really, really great. I cannot believe that we are almost finished with the first trimester. I think they say the first trimester starts at week 14. So I'm feeling really great. I'm just absolutely thrilled at this. So much has happened in the last 3 weeks. I think the last time I updated you guys was at week 10. Let's start with symptoms. Symptoms, most of them has subsided quite a bit. Aside from this congestion. I don't know if my allergies are going crazy or if it's a new symptom related to the pregnancy. But the last week I have been so congested, like all day, all night. It's a little bit irritating, but you know what? That's fine. That's fine. It's not a big deal. So yeah, besides the congestion, let me think. Peeing. I have gone to the bathroom so much less in these last like 2 weeks. Thank God. Before, like until week 11, I was probably getting up every, like in the middle of the night, like 4 or 5 times in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom. And it's like as soon as I hit week 12, that went to like 1 or 2 times in the middle of the night. So I am so grateful for that. It's really nice to feel like you can get a good night of sleep, like without waking up to the bathroom, to go to the bathroom like 18 times. So that is really nice. My sleeping from the day I found out I was pregnant, weeks, whatever, first few weeks of pregnancy to about 10 weeks, I was sleeping 10 to 11 hours a night, happily sleeping 10 to 11 hours a night, which is a lot of sleep for anybody, a lot of sleep for anybody. So now I am kind of noticing that I'm going down to like 7, 8 hours of sleep. My body is naturally waking up a little bit earlier, which I'm really, really happy about, because waking up at, 11 a.m. every day was not ideal. Not ideal. Also, during my first OB appointment, I had a lot of blood drawn, right? And my A1C came back just literally right over the threshold. So they called me, and you know what that means, right? Hey, this is the nurse. We want you to come and take the 1-hour glucose test. Okay, so I had to go in and take the 1-hour glucose test. I failed the 1-hour glucose test. And let me tell you guys why I think I failed. So when the doctor or nurse called me, they told me it wasn't a fasting test. I could eat, but don't eat like an hour before the appointment. Like, keep an hour buffer. No problem. So because it wasn't fasting, I was not in like a hurry to wake up super early for the test. I'm like, it can be done in the afternoon, kind of leisure, not a big deal. I woke up, like the time I was usually waking up, like 11 o'clock in the morning to go take this test. My husband's so sweet. He went with me, no problem. And while he was getting ready, I came downstairs and I was like, well, I'm starving and I know I have a little bit of time, so let me eat something. So while he was getting ready, I was like, I'm starving. I know I have a little bit of time, so let me eat something. Weeks 10 and 11, I was on this crazy watermelon kick. I literally think that week I ate a watermelon and a half that entire week. Like, it was crazy. And to be honest, I don't even really like watermelon. I think it makes me nauseous. So that was really, really interesting that I just could not get enough. So anyways, I woke up that morning and I had like a few bites of watermelon and I'm thinking it's fine. It's mostly water. Yeah, fruit has sugar, but like, this is fine. It's not a big deal. The test isn't fasting anyway, blah, blah, blah. So I failed by like 3 or 4 points on the test. And when I got that back, I was like, okay, well, great. So I got another call from the doctor's office. And of course, we want you to go take the 3-hour gestational diabetes test because you failed the 1 hour. Cool. And it's fasting. Okay. The test itself, like the 1 hour test, is not that bad, right? The 3-hour test is kind of bad. I am not gonna lie. The 3-hour test was really kind of irritating. So with the 1 hour test, you literally drink your drink. They take your blood 1 hour into the test and you go home. With a 3-hour test, they take your blood fasting, then you drink the drink, then they take your blood 1 hour into the test, 2 hours into the test, and 3 hours into the test. And I did it, right? I did it. The drink has 100 grams of glucose, which is a lot of sugar. Not the best tasting drink ever. Not the worst tasting drink ever. Like, it's doable, right? So I go and sit down and I'm waiting. And anyways, I take the test. My numbers get back. I passed the 3-hour gestational diabetes test. Yay. I felt fine after the test. Once again, my husband is an angel. He went with me to the test, drove me to the test, and then was there to pick me up after with lunch, thank God. But I felt fine. I know some people like can faint during the test or right after the test or whatever because you have a really big sugar drop or like blood sugar drop. Yeah. But I felt okay. I'm not like amazing, certainly, but I felt okay. I'm crossing my fingers, at least for right now. You know, we don't have any blood pressure issues or blood sugar issues. I'm praying that it stays that way. I do understand that one of those, both of those, something like that is completely out of my control. I know like the blood sugar one, gestational diabetes can be totally out of your control. It has to do with your body and your placenta. So I do understand that, but I'm just praying that I don't have any issues or concerns with blood pressure or blood sugar. At week 12, we told my parents that we were pregnant. And so right now I live in Philadelphia. My parents are in Milwaukee. And so I sent them a little, well, my husband and I, we sent them a little box. And what we did is we told them, I said, Melvin found something when he was in Madrid and it made him think of you guys and he's sending it to you. And so they're like, oh, cool. What is it? I'm like, well, you'll just have to wait and see. It's for you and Dad, but you know, I'll let you know when the package gets there. So they were so excited, like, oh, our son-in-law sent us something from Madrid. We can't wait to open it. So I called them as soon as they got the package. And so I had my husband kind of explain like, yeah, I just saw this, thought of you guys, you know. So they open the box and it's like a cute little like, you open it and it like unfolds some things. So it says like coming soon, Grandma and Grandpa, we can't wait to meet you with a due date. And I put an ultrasound picture in there and the excitement from my parents was just so nice to see. They were super, super shocked. So it's very nice that I was able to surprise them that way. They were super surprised and super shocked and so excited. So I love to see that, right? And then at 13 weeks, we told my mother-in-law and my father-in-law, my mother-in-law's birthday while we were in Greece. and equally so excited. So got her like a birthday box, and we put a little Eagles onesie in there and a little like jacket from her alma mater in the box with an ultrasound picture. And equally, they were very, very, very surprised. Because it's funny, you know, I've been hanging out with them all week. We've been, you know, it's hot in Greece, and so we've been in shorts and skirts and tank tops, and I don't know how no one kind of picked up on it, you know, that I might be pregnant. I do appreciate that no one picked up on it, but they were very, very surprised. So that was a nice gift for her on her birthday. The trip to Greece was incredible. We had a very, very nice time. We rented a very nice Airbnb. It had a pool with a view of the sea. It was absolutely gorgeous. So I felt really great on that trip. I felt really great on the plane ride over. It was about nine hours there, and about 10 hours back home. So I felt really good on the plane ride. I pray it continues to go that way. This pregnancy, I just feel like I am so blessed and so thankful that I have not been sick. And I felt well to travel. I felt well in these different cities, even though it was hot. It was actually cooler in Greece than it would have been at home. So we picked a good time to go. But the trip was great. I felt great. But when I say like, I'm surprised nobody picked it up, like, you know, obviously my husband knows. So I told him like, when we get there, we need to go to the grocery store because I need to get water. I need to get some like small breakfast things until everybody is up and ready to go eat, because I just can't wait forever to eat. And no one picked up on it. I wasn't drinking, and in Greece, you know, they like to give you a drink at the end of your meal at most restaurants, and I turned down all the drinks very politely, and everyone else indulged, and I'm really shocked that I didn't raise any alarms, but very, very, very happy. My first trimester has been such a blessing to feel good, and which is so nice because I like to travel. My husband likes to travel. We like to get out. We like to do things. So to be able to not be able to get out and like travel and do things like that would really suck for us a little bit. Last time we saw baby was at the 10-week ultrasound. I told you guys that the next time we'll see baby won't be until 20 weeks at the anatomy scan. So actually at 12 weeks and like right at 12 weeks, we went and booked a private scan just to go check, see how baby's doing. We were just kind of like, all right, like that's just too long. It's been 2 weeks. We haven't seen baby. And like I said, coming from IVF, like a fertility clinic pregnancy, you get ultrasounds like every week. You know what I mean? So going from 12 to 20 weeks, or 10 to 20 weeks just wasn't, it doesn't compute. That's like not an option for us. So the people that can do it, you're amazing. You're so strong. You're incredible. I am not that incredible. I want to see baby. And so we booked it. We get a scan at 12 weeks, and baby was looking so good. Oh my gosh, we couldn't believe it. Baby has grown so much. Actually measuring a few days ahead, which is very, very nice. Very, very active. At some point, baby like flipped over and had its butt in the air and was literally on its stomach and just moving all about. So cute and so special. I couldn't tell if my eyes were burning during the ultrasound or if I was crying during the ultrasound, but we were just so happy. It was so fun to go see baby again. So that has just been really nice. Ultrasounds are just so great because it's like, you know you're pregnant, you know, but every time you go and see the baby, it's like, oh my gosh, this is really happening. There's really a baby in here. So we're just so thankful, really, really, really thankful that this pregnancy seems to be going really well. Bump date. I feel like I started getting a little bit of a bump while we were in Greece. And I feel like the bloat is mostly subsiding, but I've noticed, like, especially the couple days, like the last couple days we were in Greece, and on the airplane ride back to the United States, I was like, oh, I think I have a little bit of a bump here. It's nothing crazy, but I feel like everything is just, I don't know, watching your body change is just kind of wild. So I don't know, I feel like my torso is pretty short, but for what it's worth, this is what we are looking with. This is what we're working with. It's great. I'm happy. It's kind of a hurdle, like a mental hurdle to get over, but very, very happy. It's just funny, like seeing your stomach in the morning and you're like, it's still there. So anyways, all in all, that is the wrap up for the first trimester. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful that we've gotten to this point, and I cannot wait to see what the rest of the pregnancy brings. So that is the update. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and we'll talk soon.